We're back in the hood. Fuck is that? Back in the hood, walking around, looking like a clown in this town. Ain't nothing to see but me climbing a tree. Can't you see? So we got to, yesterday went out. Didn't catch any, caught 2 fish yesterday, caught a bass. Also caught a bass and caught a mudcat. Mudcat was about a pound maybe, not too big. And then caught a a bass. The bass is about a pound and a half. Other than that, that was about it. And now I'm back in the hood walking around. One thing I noticed that if I go out and fish all day long, and then I get done fishing, and then I'm sitting around the house, and I start feeling all sluggish after about a day. So I have to get out and do something. But here's the thing. Back in the day, probably about 20, 25 years ago, maybe I want to say 30 years ago. So I am busting my ass on this stupid job. And this job was working in a freezer, 22 below zero. And it's weird because in the US nobody really cares unless it's about money. You know, it's like, it's almost like this light turns on in your head and you're like, damn, have I been scammed all this time? But the reality is, I hear a lot of people saying, oh, why would I want to go work 40 days, 40 years? And then you end up just kind of like folding, crumpling, and dying, you know, after 10 years. And the thing I would say to that is, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, they should give us a card. Give us like a Direct Express card. And then just load that freaking card up every month. And then, you know, you can live like a king. Or, you could make a stupid YouTube channel like this, and if you're not me, then you can get rich. But even that, everything's taxed. So, but the one thing I understand is, like, kids will say, why would I want to work and spend 50 years working just so I can live another 10, 20 years to die? It's like, well, do you have a better solution? You identified the problem, but you didn't identify the solution. So what's the friggin' solution? There is no solution. You either, you know, you work, you survive, and then you die. You know what I mean? What does a bee do? Bee's just buzzing around, but what's he doing? Bee's looking for food. Bee's looking to care for their young. Bee does what a bee does. People, we ain't much different. We're just trying to get what we can get. But the thing is that people make life so complicated because they got to analyze this and analyze that. Then you got to get on the internet and figure out this and figure out that. So I'd say to somebody who says, why would I go work 40 years, 50 years? Well, number one, experience. Number two, so you're not a bum living in a basement talking about why would I want to work, and you get a little self-esteem out of it because you say, damn right I did that, motherfucker. You don't have to say that. I'm trying to say bad words on here, but for me, yeah, I came from a lousy background. Dad killed himself. Stepmom kicked me out. 17 years old, had nowhere to go. What did I do? Could have crumpled. But instead, I said, you know what? I ain't buying this, man. And I went in the Marines. Did my time in the Marines. Got out. No home to go to. Ended up homeless. But the thing is, I learned from all these things that happened to me. So if you're constantly being coddled, told what to do, you're gonna be worthless, you know. And worthless to yourself too. Oh, there are a lot of rich people. They ain't had to do nothing but pick up a cigarette their whole life. But look where they're at the end of the road. Just a person with a cigarette. So that was just some ramblings. I try to look at the bright side of my life simply because I realize that the only thing that's any wealth is my health. Everything else is bullshit. Hey, it's a nice car. It was whatever. It don't mean nothing. So, if I learn anything at all in this life is, number one, everything you see is not true to form. And number two, you're in charge of your own thoughts, your own opinions, and your own direction with the eyes you see. Thanks for watching.